Hey guys, it's me, Lisa ASMR. So, I wanted to tell you the crazy story that's about my life. And honestly, I was thinking about it and I was like, this is stuff you see in movies. Or, um, probably unfortunately, if someone is being racially profiled. However, I'm not being racially profiled. I'm just not liked. All of a sudden, I'm not liked because I stand up for what I believe is wrong. I stand up to what's wrong and I stand up for what's right. My wording's a little off because I just woke up. It's crazy. Like, you do the right thing. I'm not even gonna say try and do the right thing because I know I did the right thing. Like, I stood up for what was right and I helped someone, and I wouldn't believe the lies that I knew were lies, and I did my own investigation to even prove, even though I already knew they were lies, that they were lies. So, since I was associated with the person who's being treated poorly and unprofessionally, I was the new target. And, like I said, like, I got written up for keeping my door shut and, having my lights off, and for resting my head, literally resting my head on my desk. I'm sorry. One, my head never even touched the desk on the day that you're specifying. Two, my door was shut because I had patients, and also because it's so freaking cold that if I have my door open, it suddenly feels like a winter storm in there. And three, my lights were off because, as the whole place knows, I have dry eye condition, and I asked for a computer screen protector, and my boss refused to even ask corporate if they would get me one unless I got an eye doctor's note. And I was like, it costs so much money to go to an optometrist. I'm good. Like, I'm freaking good. So I don't want to spend my finances towards something like that. So, and well, not everyone, the majority of people have their lights off in their offices. But me and my friend, who's also my coworker, not the one that was already told not to return after she quit and put her 2 weeks in, she also got written up because we all were friends and we would stand up for what was right. So, I told them why my door was shut. I reminded them why my lights were off. And I said my head never hit the desk. And all they said was, okay, yeah, you can sign there, and if you want to make a rebuttal, you can. Or you can write comments in there if you can. So I did. I wrote my comments in that little comment section because screw you if you think I'm just gonna sign. I'm not going down without a fight. So I wrote that stuff in there, especially with how she refused to even ask corporate before I got an optometrist note saying that computer screens that looking at them for a long time does cause dry eyes, especially with lighter colored eyes, which can lead to macular degeneration, which can lead to blindness. So anyways, I wrote my rebuttal and I signed. Because I also overheard her say, if you don't sign, I'll write that the person is insubordinate. She was saying that about a previous person she wrote up in front of me, so I know better. I'd rather have a write-up than being considered insubordinate in my chart. So, that happened. And then, I called out because I was like, you know what? You obviously don't care about me. You're just trying to get me out of here. So I'm going to use up some of my PTO. I called out, and, I ended up having a migraine all day. And, I wasn't feeling my best, But then I remembered, I was like, oh crap, like I have to print off my scheduled events for tomorrow because I took tomorrow off. And if I don't, then I'm gonna get in trouble because they made a huge ordeal with the person that they told not to return to work. That if you don't do it, you can't have your day off. So, by the time I realized it was like mid-afternoon and I was eating lunch, or no, I think by the time I realized it was 5 o'clock because I was gonna go, and I was like, oh crap, it's rush hour. So, I'm not leaving during rush hour. And by the time that rush hour was done, my sister came home, so then we worked out together. And then I left, and I arrived there around like 9:20, give or take a few minutes. I accidentally set off the alarm because the alarm thing was being weird. Called my superior, had her help me get it disarmed. She told me she was not going to dispatch the police because it's just me, obviously. The door is giving me trouble for some reason. Like, it does that every once in a while. Like, it'll be difficult to open. So for me to open the door, I had to leave my key in the door and then had to take the key out, and the latch was open. So, like, for me to get the key out, I had to lock the door again. So, because my key was outside the door, I had to lock it while the door was open. And then when I went to shut it, I had to unlock it and pull it shut. Well, I think because, like, muscle memory, I remembered that I did the latch. So I was like, oh, so I already must have locked it. So I shut the door, went on my way, put drug screens on, counselor's desk, and put in my PTO and printed off my scheduled events for the next day. And went to the front, had a little donut hole. Since I'm an employee and I eat donuts for employees, I can't get in trouble for that. But if you want your 5 cents, I'll bring my 5 cents to work. But anyways, what is it called? Oh, so I left. Like, I put the scheduled events on both my superior's desks and my partner's desk. And I left. The next day, when I was having my day off, or no, my superior called to help me disarm the alarm, texted me, and was like, I'm confused why you're there if you don't have tomorrow off. And I said, I do have tomorrow off. Remember, I emailed you and you approved it. I'm helping someone move out of the apartment. She's like, yeah, I know you have tomorrow off, so I'm just confused why you're there printing it off. Printing your scheduled events off. It's like, because it was a huge ordeal when my friend took off and there weren't 3 scheduled events printed off, so I was trying to help out, and it was a rule, so I decided to be nice and try and help out and go print it off. And she was like, she said, it's a rule that non-management cannot be on the premises without management being present. And I said, I wasn't aware that that was a rule because I've been able to go back and grab my stuff plenty of times without you being there and not get in trouble. And I've also stayed later hours after you personally left and saw me there. And another counselor was there still. And sometimes he would even leave and I'd be the only one left. And it was never an issue before. So I'm just confused. But I understand now that it's a rule. And I will never let it happen again. Like I said, I was just trying to help out. Have a good night. And it was just, I had the last word because she knew I was right and she couldn't keep fighting with me. So anyways, on my day off, she called the police and had them comb the whole place. Checked everyone's offices, checked the money, checked all the medication, make sure I didn't take the medication. And then I learned that I only had one real friend there. And the other another one is an acquaintance. Like, he's a good guy. But the ones that I've known for the year and 5 months I've been there, and still there. I just say it like that because right now I've been there for a year and 5 months, you know. We've been friends. One of them I used to go out a lot with. The other one occasionally, like I'm not really close with her, but they would always like talk about how like they stand up for what's right. Well, they threw me under the bus. And they said that I was walking around weird. Oh, I forgot to tell you a big thing. I was trying to find the light switch. So I turned on my cell phone and I couldn't find the light switch. I was like hitting the walls, like looking. Not hitting the walls. I was like trying to touch the walls, looking like any normal person would do. And then I remembered, oh, the light switch is down the hall. Go all the way down to the hall, flicked it on and off 3 or 4 times, and nothing was happening. It's like, great, the breaker must have turned off or whatever. So I was like, you know what, it's fine. I'll just use my cell phone because I'm going to be there for a few minutes. And they're like, oh, she's walking around weird. She's looking at the floor plan. Why do I need to look at the floor plan? I've been there for almost a year and a half. Like, really? Why would I need to check the floor plan? But they'd be ridiculous. Like, obviously they found out that I stole nothing. Nothing was missing. Nothing was stolen. Really? Really? Bunch of circus clowns, I tell you. But sometimes you just gotta deal with the circus to have a job.